In this video, I'm going to be sharing 3 tips for gaining momentum on your YouTube channel. And what do you do if you have a breakout video, and how can you keep that momentum going? But hey, if we're just meeting, my name is Sean, and my passion is to help you build your influence with YouTube and online video. And on this channel, we do a lot of tech gear reviews, but we also do tips and strategy videos just like this one. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. But I'm excited to get into the training today. It's going to be probably about 20 minutes because this is a YouTube live. But if you're here on the rebroadcast, thanks so much for being here. And I see you, Tech Guy. I see you, Compulsion HD, Anthony, Crazy Chaos, Clara. What's up, guys? Let's dive in to the training today. And if you can hear me loud and clear and things sound and look good, can you smash that like button, because we have some seriously cool content to share. We're talking about 3 tips for gaining momentum on YouTube, and we can dive right into it. Again, if we're just meeting, my passion is to help you build your influence with video, and that's what we're going to be doing today. Let's get your growth on. Let's get those views. Let's get those subscribers. And remember, sharing is caring. So if you get value out of these trainings, maybe you've been part of the Think Media community for a while, it would mean a lot to me if you could spread the word, maybe hit the buttons below the YouTube video to share it on your favorite social platform, or tell somebody that this is happening. Tweet it, retweet it, whatever, because it's going to be a lot of fun. Today, we're going to get into this training. I also have a free download for you towards the end, and yes, we'll be doing some Q&A with more details about that. But today is all about a question. So Caitlin from the Think Media community asked this. So I've been on YouTube for 9 months now, and I recently gained around 400 subscribers because of one video, and we'll talk about that hit 200,000 views. Congratulations, Caitlin. I want to keep that momentum going. What advice can you give me? And so I love that. And here's the thing, momentum solves 80% of your problems. Like momentum is a good problem to have. And it's a great question to say, once I get momentum, once maybe I have a breakout video, and for everybody watching, it could be a breakout video of any kind. Maybe you're normally just getting like 50 views or 100 views, but what happens if one hits 1,000? This would apply if you have any momentum in any breakout video of any kind. And so I love this quote, right? The big mo is what John Maxwell calls it, and we should all be striving to create momentum and then keep it going. And Michelle Phan said, success is like a lightning bolt. It'll strike you when you least expect it, and you just have to keep that momentum going. You have to strike when the iron is hot. So whenever you have momentum, you really want to put in the work. You don't want to rest. In fact, I have this quote: celebrate your success and then hustle harder. One of the biggest mistakes that I actually see people make is they have a little bit of momentum, and you should get excited. I think you should celebrate. We all need to celebrate when we have wins, big or small. But I see the mistake that people want to set up a camp around one, breakout thing, as opposed to really just doubling down and hustling even harder once you get a little bit of success and a little bit of momentum. So here's 3 tips, though, of what I would say to Caitlin and to everybody that I think we can really learn from to grow our YouTube channels. And number 1, that's study what's working and do more of that. So how do you do that? Here's how you study what's working. You want to look at your YouTube analytics, and specifically, you want to be looking at your traffic sources, like where are the views actually coming from? And then you want to also study your most popular videos. And in this case, you'd want to study your breakout video, and look at that, but also any of your top videos. And so here is Caitlin's channel, and this is her breakout video. Normally maybe getting a few hundred views or even a couple thousand, but this one's already at 250,000, and she's got a fitness channel, and it's Tammy Hembrow's booty workout, and it's blowing up, and it continues to actually blow up and have momentum. So when you have a breakout video like this of any size, here's what I would recommend. You want to create related videos. So here's what I mean. The goal here is to show up in your own suggested videos. And here's a question for you, and let me know in live chat or in the comments below. What do you think that we can learn from these shows, or just your favorite show? In fact, tell me in the comments or live chat, what is your favorite show, number 1? But what can we learn from like Breaking Bad or House of Cards or The Office? You know, what is that trigger for you, and what do you think we could do to apply that to YouTube? You know, if you're like me, when I first got sucked into like the Breaking Bad thing, my wife Sonia was out of town, and so I was like, man, I heard the show's kind of popular, and what happened to me? Next thing you knew, I had a full-time job at the time. Every day I'd come home from work, and I might have put in 1, 3, 5 episodes, 7. You know, have you ever been there? What do we call that, right? We call that binging. We call that, you know, and everyone's talking about like binge watching shows and bingeable shows, right? And so what can we learn from that about YouTube? The tip is you really want to create bingeable content on YouTube these days. And this applies to everything beyond just building momentum. But this is literally one of the most important single YouTube strategies right now. I can't overemphasize this. With the way the YouTube algorithm's working, the way YouTube's working, bingeable content should be your goal. So just ask yourself that question. What kind of series of videos, what kind of video clusters could you be creating that are bingeable? And here's kind of an example. So our goal again is to get into suggested videos. And this is a screenshot of the traffic on my channel. The largest way that I'm getting views right now, and we're experiencing a lot of momentum on Think Media, is suggested videos. And recently I put out a video that's very popular right now, best camera for YouTube videos, and it's getting about 1,000 views a day. So there's momentum on the video. It's showing up in suggested videos. It's showing up in YouTube search. And so as a result, right, number one, celebrate. Woo, awesome. That's cool you have a breakout video. But number two, get to work. Begin to hustle hard and start putting out content. So I've just in the last maybe 2 weeks since this, I put out a related video, but different. In this case, the best budget DSLR for vlogs. I also did the best budget Canon camera. Now, these seem maybe similar, and they are, but they're also very different, right? I mean, this one's just Canon. This is only kind of targeted at vloggers, but they all are interrelated. And then this one, how to choose the right camera, a camera buying guide. And this was actually a YouTube Live, which we'll talk about later. So can you see how they kind of all stack and are related to this? So ask yourself, what kind of video clusters, what kind of related videos in series could you create? And so what you end up getting as a result, if you do it right, is in your own suggested videos and ultimately other people's on, I believe, Best Camera for YouTube, you can see different videos and even videos I've created in the past. Canon lenses makes sense because cameras need lenses if they're interchangeable lenses. So that's showing up in suggested, that's showing up in suggested. And you know, one of the hardest things these days is even showing up in your own suggested videos. And if you're not creating interrelated videos, then you are missing out on that huge opportunity. So Caitlin, what I would say, and to everybody in our community, and specifically to Caitlin, I would say, okay, so if you did the booty workout, it's funny to talk about this. What does she have another workout? Could you do something that's like, I don't know, calves? That sounds, I don't know anything about it, but what like kind of related videos, maybe other workouts or other videos around that particular influencer, and you did her workout to how to get like that result in your body, spin off videos that would be like the logical next step, and people that were interested in that one would be interested in this other one. And then you want to be intentional to connect those with YouTube cards, linking to them in the description, because you want to create like this loop where if you're getting a video that's getting, and your video is getting tons of views an hour, lots of views a day, well, don't just lose out on that one video. Hopefully create a bingeable session so that then they could maybe go to another video and another video that's logical. It's like, man, if I just learned how to build my triceps, well, now it's like I want to build my chest too in a fitness example. And so I'm going to go from video to video to video. And let me know, in the live chat or in the comments, if you've ever maybe been binging content on Think Media before. I mean, that's one of my goals. A friend of mine told me recently, that's something that they do, or one of the viewers. So I think creating bingeable content is a huge deal, and do that by creating related videos. And so Edward, thank you so much for the super chat, and let's keep grinding here on some tips. Okay, the second thing that you'd want to do here is re-optimize your top performing videos. And so now that you've got that top video, but what I would also do is you want to go to your YouTube channel, and we could even look at mine here really quick, and you want to go to your top performing videos, and so, or your most popular. And so what I would do, there's two places that you can look. You can look in your YouTube analytics, And then you can also look on your videos. You can look on anybody's channel. I'll show you a couple different things here. You go to your most popular, and under most popular, you might look through these. You definitely want to make your most popular videos re-optimize. When was the last time you checked in on your top 10? If you go to analytics, just on the homepage, you can see your top 10 videos in the last 28 days. How can you add YouTube cards to those, update the descriptions, and really maximize the potential of those videos? And so what we would do here, a couple practical tips, is YouTube cards on your top performing videos. End cards, do you have the end cards on there? Featured content, we'll talk about that in a second. And then update the YouTube description, especially the top 3 lines of text. And so this is a funny picture, but I just left it. So, YouTube cards at strategic times in the video. This is that video that I'm having breakout right now. I've got strategic YouTube cards coming out at strategic times in the video. It actually happens to be a video that I talk about a lot of different cameras, but why I'm talking about the G7X camera, I actually have the G7X video I did pop out. Again, video clusters, groups of related videos, get people on a binge. Knowing that audience retention drops off, and you can study that in your analytics, and right before it drops off, put a card there, because if people are going to leave, the majority of people are maybe kind of getting bored at that point. Instead of having them leave and go somewhere else to somebody else's content, keep them on your content, or give them the opportunity to do that by putting a strategic YouTube card right there. If you haven't started using featured content, you can go into your Creator Studio, go to Channel, and go to Featured Content, and you can actually always update a video that pops up on all of your videos. And you could say it starts at every video at 2 minutes, or you can optimize the timing. And so that means that your entire library of videos, including your most popular one, can drive traffic to a new video. And so if you haven't turned that on, as people are watching that popular video that's getting so much traffic, that could also be another thing driving other views to your newer content, whichever video you want to feature. And then make sure that your top 3 lines of text are really optimized. And so this is true in general. What is it you want people to do? Would you want them to know about a product and you could do affiliate marketing? Or would you want them to know about another video, or give a call to action to subscribe? Don't waste the top 3 lines of text. And on your top 10 videos in your analytics, and especially in Caitlin's top video, definitely optimize that video to its maximized potential. So we're talking about 3 tips for gaining momentum and keeping momentum on your YouTube channel. And number 3 is the CSQC formula. And so this is kind of our macro vision of how to crush it right on YouTube. But here's what you want to do now, right? We talked about don't rest, celebrate, but then begin to hustle. And the first C in this formula is consistent, right? Stay consistent. Now that you've especially got some momentum, now's the time to really stay consistent and make sure that you're pumping out videos on a regular basis. These days, I think 1 a week, depending on, we have some people, you got a side hustle, you got a job, you got a family. 1 a week is a good minimum. Matt Gielen recently said that the YouTube algorithm loves 3 a week. And so thinking about how you can maybe even increase your consistency. But when you have momentum, you want to double down and really stay consistent. The second part, strategic. And so consistent, strategic videos. So not just random videos, but videos that, again, will keep people binging, videos that are strategically optimized to rank in search, videos that can show up in suggested videos, very strategic, thought out videos. I don't believe that consistency is enough these days. People say, hey, just post consistent videos. I think they need to be strategic. You may have heard me say before that, if you started YouTube in 2010 and you were playing checkers, you could win. Checkers it's a tough game. I don't know how good you're at checkers. Maybe you and I could play someday. And, but at some point, it's not that strategic. There's only so many moves. The chips, whatever you call them, can only do certain things. So if you just did a few things right on YouTube in 2010, you could win. But I think things have changed. I still think it's a wide open opportunity on YouTube. Still plenty of room to crush it, plenty of opportunity to build a side income, part-time, even full-time income, grow your influence. But I think to win on YouTube these days, you can't be playing checkers. You need to be playing chess. you need to have a lot more strategy, a lot more intentionality, and be a little bit more sniper on things. You know, it's not just kind of random actions and just trying to post videos and just see it happen, but intentionality, strategy. And that's a lot of what we talk about here. So you want to now follow up that original momentum with consistent, strategic quality, right? That's the third one. Quality. How can you level up the quality of your videos? I'm asking you, Caitlin. I'm asking you, Think Media community. How can you level up your quality in every area? How can you make them better, more entertaining, more professional, level up the production value? How can you make them quicker? How can you make them maybe shorter? Even if they're longer, meaning just like more punchy, more impactful. How can you, whatever value you're delivering, crank up that value? How can you just deliver a higher quality content, whether that's production value, content value, whether that's, you know, studying a little bit more, bringing results in fitness. You're the master, Caitlin, obviously in your space. You're helping people, but just you would know more than me what the most kind of quality things you could do. And always, you know, never get overwhelmed by like, you know, the quality of way down the road, but always be striving now as you're posting consistent content to make each video 1% better. If you make every video 1% better, then 100 videos from now, your channel is going to be 100% better. It'll have doubled in quality if you just focus on, you know, the small tweaks that lead to giant peaks, right? And then finally, content. And on YouTube, that is videos, right? So this is the formula: consistent, strategic, quality content, especially to follow up, you know, once you have momentum. And what's so funny is when it really comes down to YouTube, if people say like, Sean, how do you have success on YouTube? Like, what's the secret to success on YouTube? Well, sure, there's so many strategies and there's a lot of stuff that we teach, but at the end of the day, it actually comes down to this. To have success on YouTube, you have to post videos on YouTube. Mic drop moment, hashtag mic drop, right? But, you know, sometimes that seems like common sense, but that doesn't mean it's common practice. To have success on YouTube, you need to keep posting quality content on YouTube, and every video is a chance to increase that success. It's a video that adds more views to your bottom line. You know, one of the ways that we, Benji and I on our channel, Video Influencers, which you've never checked that out, I'll link it up in the description and I'll put on the YouTube card as well. One of the things that we talk about is that actually, if you want to double your views, double your videos. Because if every video gets 100 views and you only upload one a week, if you upload 2 a week, and every video gets 100 views, now your channel gets 200 a week. But momentum increases and it begins to stack. So the thing, if you were to ask Sean, like, what are you focusing on right now as Think Media is experiencing all this momentum? What are you focusing on? I'm focusing on videos. I'm like trying to get back in the trenches, studying, trying to, you know, video prep, doing research with all the tools online to find video ideas, and really thinking about how I could level up my quality and be posting more consistent, strategic, quality content, right? So, and then one other power tip here is experiment with YouTube Live, because especially when I said, well, man, 3 videos a week, that's a lot. One of the things I mentioned, right, and this is the YouTube Live right now, but this video right here was part of that recommended videos that's getting in the suggested videos. And this is actually a live stream that's also on the topic of some of that fitness training. So for Caitlin, and this could apply to everybody, in your niche, I might be thinking, you know, maybe a live stream could be a Q&A, but it also could be like, it could be tips about fitness. So maybe you talk about like the 5 things on nutrition. Maybe you talk about like the you know, the various things you've done that are maybe your favorite supplements. You go through your favorite products, and it's something simple. It's real time. My friend Judy's, Benji's wife, Judy Time, they do a daily vlog, It's Judy's Life, but she just did a live stream on It's Judy Time, her beauty channel, and you go live. She did some favorites and she did some products and stuff, and then she turned it off, and then it's over, right? A video is done on your channel. So if you want to crank up consistency with videos, be experimenting with YouTube Live. The other cool thing in the fitness space is that you could do actually live workouts. Someone could actually work out with you real time, or if they wanted to follow along on like a 30-minute workout or 20 minutes, that could be a YouTube Live. Maybe you have a friend help you, maybe you just set it up on a tripod. But again, you've just added another video to your bottom line. And again, I always say experiment. Some things work for people, some things they don't work as good, but if you're not taking risks, if you're not experimenting, then you're really probably limiting your potential. Don't just stick with what's working, but always be testing and experimenting. It might not work, and maybe it doesn't resonate, maybe you don't vibe with it, but at least give it a shot, because YouTube Live is a huge opportunity right now to get noticed, and YouTube is rewarding it and favoring live. And then bonus tip, another bonus tip, never stop doing the YouTube best practices. Whenever you get some success, you get some momentum, never forget the best practices. Never stop doing the things that got you there in the first place, but actually never stop also pursuing the best practices. This is true in any industry, right? You know, the elite level athletes are caring about a lot more details, a lot more distinctions, and a lot more best practices than the amateur level athletes. They're just paying more attention to every little detail. So just the best practice on YouTube, mastering titles, mastering thumbnails, and all those kinds of things. And, you know, I mentioned a download. Speaking of best practices, if you haven't grabbed my personal checklist, this is actually new and updated, 17 quick tips and quick things that I do every time I upload a YouTube video. So Caitlin, if you've never downloaded that, be thinking about those best practices. It goes through all the things, like, and that's a lot of things, but you could do them really quick. You could print it out, put it next to your computer. That's at tubechecklist.com. We'll also link it up on the YouTube card and in the description below. But that's kind of best practices. Create that playlist. And if you haven't watched the video of my playlist training, that would be another thing I'd be focusing on. You know, this is a lot, but if you want to treat YouTube as a professional, you want to turn this into a career, turn your creativity into a career, turn your passion into profit, then you want to do the best practices. You want to put in the extra 10, 20% that other people don't do so that you can have the edge. And so if you want to download that for free, that's at tubechecklist.com, link in the description below as well. And you could just enter your email so we know where to send it. And that's a PDF that will come to your inbox. And then finally, work hard and dream big. And dream big. So, you know, keep dreaming big. When you got that momentum, just keep dreaming big. Think about, you know, like, this is awesome. You dream about the potential of hitting 20,000 subscribers, 100,000. But also work hard. Remember, just get back into the trenches. For you, Caitlin, for everybody in the Think Media community, a lot of this stuff just comes back to a lot of grit and hard work. If you've been doing YouTube for very long, you know that it's no joke. There's a reason why some people are like, that lifestyle looks cool, that dream looks cool, but then once they do it for a while, they realize, geez, there's a lot that goes into this. And it's just kind of the nature of this particular industry, right? You think about it. You're like, geez, I got to design thumbnails and shoot videos and edit videos and learn video SEO and then comment back to people and then learn all the social media platforms so I can get views. There's a lot that goes into it, but it's an amazing, amazing thing to do as a hobby for fun, or even as a career, or even as side income, but it takes a lot of hard work. And Thomas Edison said one of my favorite quotes, that opportunity is missed by most people because it's dressed in overalls and it looks like work. And there's so much opportunity on YouTube right now for those that are willing to hustle, to stay committed, to stay focused, to kill distractions, to really master the platform and study and grow. And so keep hustling, keep working hard, keep dreaming big. And then for additional training like this, you know, I mentioned the playlist strategy. This is a series that we're doing, and I'm trying to practice what I preach, right? Like this YouTube strategy series, this is part of it. It's these live streams that are a little bit of a deeper dive. So we'll link that up on the YouTube card. You could check out some other videos that are a little more nuanced, a little more specific like this. And that's in the description below. And then, hey, I'm actually going to be doing Q&A over on Facebook. Sorry to throw that curveball at you, but Jen has been in the comments with you guys. She's capturing your questions, and that's the link in the description below. It'll probably start up in a few moments. But if you could do me a favor, 2 things. Question of the day: what are your tips for gaining momentum? If you've ever had a breakout video, if you've ever got a little bit of momentum going, what'd you do next? And here's what I need from you. The live chat actually disappears, so I'm not going to be able to see those. This video will, you know, populate or render, and then you're allowed to actually have comments that I can see. So if you got value out of this, it'd mean the world to me if you could come back and leave a comment in that comment section, and I can know that question of the day. Or maybe you're watching on the replay. What'd you do? When you get momentum, what have you learned? What is your biggest tip? And remember, you know, some of the biggest tips come from you in the Think Media community. You guys are brilliant. You guys are bright. If you're here, I know that you're a focused focused person. I know that you're a hustler. I know that you've dreamed big. You've got aspirations, that you're going for things. There's not a lot of people that would watch a training like this. A lot of people would binge Breaking Bad, but they're not going to be building their business and building their influence and building their brand, right? They're going to be sitting back as opposed to leaning in like you are. So I just want to say I'm super grateful for you guys. Super pumped that we're connected here in Think Media, and would love to hear your thoughts on what you would do and some of the things you've learned about keeping, starting, and sustaining momentum. Q&A over on Facebook in just a second. Appreciate you guys so much. If you want to grab the Tube Checklist, it's at tubechecklist.com, link in the description as well. And until next time, Think Media is bringing you the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video. Keep